Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. It's now time for a global business update. And today, one of Nigeria's celebrated entrepreneurs and former director of Google West Africa, that's Dr. Juliet Ehimuan, brought together foreign investors and key players in Nigeria's public and private sector for DICE 3.0. This is the third edition of the tech ecosystem mixer hosted by Beyond Limits, founded by Dr. Ehimuan, where she serves as CEO. Arise business correspondent Rotis Odiri filed this report.
Heavy traffic on a Lagos night caused by a partially closed bridge was not enough.
It's not enough
to stop influential public and private sector bigwigs from gathering at the Civic Center in Victoria Island for DICE 3.0. But what is DICE?
First of all, what is DICE? DICE is an acronym for Digital Innovation and Creative Excellence.
The brainchild of the former director at Google West Africa and founder of Beyond Limits, the entity hosting the event in its third edition, was an invitation-only networking mixer put together to strategically connect and empower Africa's tech, business, and creative players while fostering meaningful partnerships. This year's theme was Scaling Right, from market entry to market leadership. Dr. Juliet Ehimuan stressed the importance of the event.
It's a platform designed to bring the key stakeholders in the tech and business ecosystems together for knowledge sharing, partnerships, collaboration, and the ultimate goal is to be able to drive growth and drive investments.
She moderated a number of panels, with the highlight being a fireside chat with Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, Nigeria's Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment.
I think that the first thing I'd like to say to the ecosystem is that we're listening government. We're ready to listen to whatever it is you need to thrive. You're Mr. President's priority and you're my priority, and we're committed to seeing this ecosystem thrive.
Arise News caught up with Nigeria's former Minister of Trade and Investment, Dr. Okechukwu Enelama, who talked about the importance of the event and praised the current minister's work.
The Honorable Minister, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, just spoke, and she spoke excellently well. And really, I was going to say she talked shop, right? Talked about the importance of building your economy on some very concrete levers. She made a very important point that as the fiscal policies and monetary policies begin to align, it opens up the space for investment, for trade, and for industry, which is really her forte. And as you know, the Honorable Minister has been on this for, frankly, close to 10 years. In fact, I think she's been on it for this year, we'll make it 10 years. And there is something about longevity, and there's something to say about, when somebody shows a commitment to a particular area. She's also a trade expert by training and by choice. So I think Nigeria is in a very good place in terms of our portfolio. And I think this event and the work that is being done by Juliet and everybody that is involved in DICE is very important in bringing stakeholders together.
The contribution of women to the business and tech ecosystem was highlighted by Arise News at its recent gala night honoring impactful women. The theme continued at DICE 3.0 with Nike Adeyemi, the executive director of the Faith Foundation, discussing her outlook for female-led SMEs in Nigeria.
We're always optimistic about female entrepreneurs, and I think that we're happy to now see that a lot of people within the ecosystem are now understanding the need to prioritize female entrepreneurs. In our last State of Entrepreneurship in Nigeria report, we saw a jump in female entrepreneurs in Nigeria. And for us, the priority now that we're trying to get people to focus on is providing growth funding and growth capital to women entrepreneurs, particularly those that play in critical sectors of the economy. As we're seeing them getting more into entrepreneurship and getting into viable and potentially sustainable business opportunities, we then need to put some money to support them, in addition to training and all the other supports, or mentoring and all the other potential infrastructural support that they have available to them.
Dr. Juliet Ehimuan also discussed education and the skills pipeline for girls in the tech ecosystem.
I agree with you that education it should be a fundamental human right, really. And we need to start from the basics. So if you think about a pyramid, right, you have a wide base, right? We need to think about ensuring that more girls have the opportunity to have an education. because that way you will increase the numbers that bubble up to the top and into leadership positions. So it's so important that in our societies, we allow girls to get an education. We encourage girls to take on STEM subjects, and we encourage and facilitate that as much as possible.
Nigeria's investment environment was recently praised by JP Morgan in an analyst note highlighting President Tinubu's shakeup of leadership at the NNPC and the Central Bank of Nigeria revealing its net foreign exchange reserves. We asked Mark Smithson, the head of the UK government's Department for Business and Trade, who was also a panelist at DICE 3.0, about Nigeria's investment climate and what the country needs to do to attract capital. He said, maintain the momentum of the current economic reforms.
I think Nigeria needs to continue doing what it's currently doing, so stay its course with relation to the macroeconomic reforms. I mean, ultimately, business and money follows the path of least resistance, and Nigeria is such an important market. I know it's in the crosshairs of the international business community, so the world is watching very closely, and they're watching very closely at the macroeconomic reforms. We're beginning to see some positive signs. They're beginning to make a positive difference to the business environment. So I would just say we need more of this. We need predictability, we need stability, we need long-term macroeconomic reforms. So what I would say to Nigeria is just continue doing what you're doing, just double down, and if you do, money investment will surely follow.
DICE 3.0 was a memorable event with pertinent discussions about Nigeria's promising ecosystem for attracting capital, creating jobs, and delivering inclusive economic growth. All eyes on 2026 and DICE 4.0. For Arise News, Rhoda Sodiri.